My best friend since pre-K, and he was always like, we try and team up together to be partners on presentations. And he's like, Joey, let's go first. Let's go first. I'm like, okay. So we get out, we knock it out the park. And we always did amazing presentations. And it never bothered me all the way up until high school. It never bothered me. I went to college. I had a speech class. And I was like, man, I got this. I had to do a presentation. Got up. I looked at everybody. All I saw was eyes looking at me. I choked. So I was like, good Lord. After that, it messed with me. It's like a PTSD, I guess you would say. But gotcha. I mean, not to that extreme, but
yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Just kind of just messed with my head ever since then.
No, I've never really been like a people person until I met my wife. She likes to talk to people. That's just her personality. But me, I'm a homebody. I like to stay home. I do like to have people around every now and then, but this has helped me a whole lot, like more to talk and stuff and calm my nerves, man. I used to just be so shy, man. I hated it, but it's better now for sure. But yeah, man, you ready?
I'm ready whenever you are, man. I was going to ask if we were going already.
Well, I started recording.
Okay.
Yeah. Dang it. Yeah, no, I started recording.
So, I mean...
But
it's whatever you want. My main question, I just had one question that I wanted to ask you, and what was it that I guess you wanted me to do this podcast?
Man,
what about me?
I don't know a whole lot about you, and I feel like I'm not sure because you're not even from here, right?
No, I'm not.
And so I don't know if even a lot of people know about you. I know when it comes to your business, your side business, not a lot of people know about that either.
Yeah.
And I felt like, man, this would help promote that. Also get to know you. You're an officer here in town. A sheriff deputy?
Sheriff deputy now.
So, people know who you are, maybe open up to you and get a better feel of who you are. You know what I'm saying? So, I don't know. I'm just kind of curious on, why lifting weights too? Like, what made you want to go to the gym, and and also why Seminole? Why'd you pick Seminole? I'm not sure if you could have chose anywhere else, but
it's really, you could apply everywhere. It's just a place if they want you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But I mean, I got a long story, man.
Hey, you know what?
There's a lot to me.
Yeah. Well, before you even start, like, I mean, we've already started, but man, don't worry about the time. You have pretty much as long as you want to talk. And other than that, like I said, man, it's better, you talking.
Yeah.
People, I like just hearing, them talk. I have questions every now and then, but man, when you talk, my focus is on you. And
no, I mean, I guess, the whole lifting weights part, it started, I guess, as a kid. I was overweight, just about my entire life, all the way up until about 7th grade. I got into athletics, and, man, I lost, 50 pounds. I remember being, in 6th grade, about 5'6", being, 180 pounds. That's a big boy, I was wearing my dad's pants. That's the kind of size that I was. Just gotcha. You're in middle school. You're supposed to be little, right?
Yeah.
So I mean, I was a big boy. So when I got into athletics, it's funny because that same friend that I told you about the presentation, I remember being athletics and I was saying, "Hey man, I think I'm done." He's like, "Nah, Joey, you got this. We got this. Let's just keep going." So I was like, "Okay, all right." So it was I guess week 2, I was in football. We started football in 7th grade. And I just remember thinking, man, I'm dying. It's hot. I'm sweating. It was a new thing. So, he told me that we were, I guess, doing the ropes where you run through.
Oh, yeah.
High knees, to skiing and jumping.
Oh, yeah. I remember that.
So, yeah, that was rough, man. And I'm from Presidio, okay? I don't know if you know Presidio. Presidio's pretty much like the hottest town in Texas, next to Beckles.
Oh wow.
You know, it gets like a coldest in the winter is like 30 degrees, but that's like while everywhere else is like at 0 or 10 degrees. So I mean, that you can only imagine, you know, even on summer nights where it's supposed to drop down, it's like 90. So I mean, you can only imagine this big heavy kid sweating, football gear on, it's like 100 degrees outside. I wanted to quit. But yeah, he told me, he's like, no, let's keep going. And I did, you know, it started getting easier. Before I knew it, my mom was like, had to buy me pants like 3 or 4 times because I just kept losing weight. So after that, it was like a big confidence booster. I just felt like I came out of a shell.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
You know, because at that time, you know, kids, you know, pick on you because you're fat. So
were you bullied, I guess, at that age or no?
It's funny. I wasn't like bullied, but you know, they'd tease me. You know?
Yeah. No.
I mean, if they bullied me, you know, I kind of stood up for myself. But you know, it wasn't. I don't know. I guess like media or perspective where they push you down and, you know, I guess throw your book bag or whatever. And it wasn't nothing like that. It was just, you know, teasing,
joking. And,
yeah,
gotcha.
But you know, as a kid, I guess teasing can, you know, it affects you to a certain aspect. There was nothing that was ever extreme. I was like, whatever, you know, but it bothered me. So, you know, I kept working out from 7th grade, you know, just nothing crazy, just, you know, athletics, you know, throughout the school. Always stayed active.
What were your, I'm going to kind of throw you off a little bit, but like your parents, what were your parents like? Are you the only sibling there? Or like,
no.
I mean, you're only son or the only child? Or?
I am the second youngest. So I have my older sister, I have me, and I have my younger sister, and then I got my little brother. So there's like at least about a 13-year gap from me and my little sister.
Oh, wow.
So that's why I say it's kind of, I guess I was like the youngest at those times until middle school when late middle school, my mom had my sister.
Okay.
So, but I mean, you know, I had my parents throughout my whole childhood. They were great people.
That's good. That's awesome.
You know, as a kid, I mean, I guess, how should I say this? You know, we didn't have a whole lot, but I never knew that as a kid.
Yeah.
And I guess as I got older, you kind of realize, you know, we don't got a whole lot, but you know, what we had was unity. And I always, you know, to this day, I feel, you know, you shouldn't have to worry about the material things. It's what you have as a person, as a unity with your family. You know, you may not have the biggest house, you may not have the nicest car, but you got your family.
Oh yeah, man.
You know what I'm saying?
That's good. Oh yeah.
So
love it, bro. Love it.
So, you know, I didn't have like a rough childhood. None of that stuff. It was, you know, happy. It was a happy childhood.
Heck yeah.
You know, it was good. I didn't have what I wanted all the time, but you know, it's all right.
Yeah.
You know.
Oh yeah.
I guess it made me a better person because, you know, kids get what they want, kind of get spoiled. So
No.
It is what it is, right?
Yeah.
You know.
Oh yeah. Heck yeah.
But I remember also telling my parents, hey, I want to get out of athletics. And my dad said, you get in it, you're going to finish. You don't quit. So I was like, okay, all right. I remember being upset, man, he doesn't know. He doesn't understand. It's rough.
Yeah.
So I was like, whatever. So everything he told me, he said, everything you do, you give it your all. You don't got to be the best, but give it your all. So it's like, okay. All right, cool. So I did that. I played sports just mainly in middle school. I played football, did a little bit of basketball, but there's something about basketball I couldn't pick up. So that was like about the one thing that let me quit. So it was like, I was like, I can't understand the rules. I don't know what's going on.
Yeah.
So it was like, I did half the season after that. I was like, I'm not picking it up. And they're like, well, if you're not picking it up, then I guess it's okay. So, but after that, I did track. Man, I was fast. I remember that. I did the 400, the 100, and it was like the 300, I think. So you do like the straightaway and the curve.
Oh, what is that?
And then another straightaway. Or just the 200. 200, 400,
the 200,
and the
yeah.
100. Yeah. But that was about it. I think that was about the only time that I loved running. Because I remember I met with you a while back. I said, I can't run.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember you saying that. Yeah.
And, in high school, I wasn't athletics, but at that point, being from a border town, you kind of get mixed up. I guess you grow up fast, should I say. So you got kids going to Mexico and drinking because they don't ID you, So I guess I kind of partied a lot in high school, should I say, and my grades weren't there.
Oh, gotcha.
I was a hell of an athlete. They always told me that, Joe, you need to get your grades up. I wish I could play you, but you got to get your grades up. And I'm like, we'll see. There wasn't nothing that was a big concern to me at that moment, but I wish it was. I look back and I wish I gave it, put my priority in school.
Mm-hmm.
But in the same aspect, I wouldn't change anything because that partying, I got it out of my system early, I guess you could say.
Yeah.
But, I went to high school, graduated, and I guess this is a kind of totally different, spin-off, but my father, he was, I guess when I got into middle school and started noticing, when I started, misbehaving, he kind of, it's like a flick of the switch, he kind of almost became my enemy.
Oh, man, yeah.
But it was a tough love. It was a love that I didn't understand at that time. It was, if you don't straighten up, you're going to be a bum like the rest of your family. Which, I guess, I don't know if it's just, Mexican thing. I'm Mexican. We do have some, people that just do bad, in our family. So at that time, I was hanging around a lot with them. And I was picking up their bad habits. So, he always told me, you're just going to be a bum. And I was like, whatever, Dad.
Yeah.
It's me. I'm going to do me. He always said, if you get in trouble, don't call me. Be a man about it. I went up to it. I was like, okay. All right. So, his toughness was very different. I remember being like young and, I'm like, hey, I tell my mom, I got a B on this test. She's like, good job, I'm proud of you. I tell my dad, you should have got an A. Cold like that. You should have got an A.
Yeah.
I'm like, man, okay. Well, at least my mom loves me. That's what I would say.
Yeah.
But, I look back at it right now and I'm like, thank you for being that way. Because you saw who I am and my capability and that I can do better. Had he just said those words, I might have understood, but it's kind of like a tough love that I am very grateful for.
So y'all's relationship now, I mean, it's always been you've been pretty close with your dad?
Well, I guess not very close. I mean, he's there for me when I need him, but it's like a Chicano thing, we don't show a lot of emotion.
Yeah.
I'm like, hey, Dad, I just want to tell you, thank you for always being there for me. I love you. He doesn't respond because I guess he gets emotional and he doesn't want to show it to me. But I know I know, he loves me.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
But it's just one of those, that Chicano pride that you don't want to look weak. You don't want to show your emotion. So, I've never seen him cry, even when his mom passed away. I think he did it when everybody was asleep because remember my sister, she woke up one time, middle of the night. She came back, she's like, Dad's crying. I was like, what? No way. She's like, yeah, he's crying. I was like, oh, okay. Just let him have his time.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
But yeah.
No, I don't know why that is, man. I honestly don't know why, because of course my dad passed away when I was way young, but even watching like my uncles and everybody else, like I don't ever think I've seen them cry, and just talking to different men, it's like even me, like it's hard for me to be emotional.
Uh-huh.
It's something I want to do more. I want my kids to see that side of me. Like, oh man, my dad's loving. He's not just this guy that tries to be this Batman kind of figure, but
Yeah.
he's got a softer side to him too.
Yeah.
I don't know why that is. And even coming with us Mexicans, man, like it, I have no idea. Like it, I don't know why it's like that. Honestly,
I think it's just a lot of how we're raised. We're raised to, you got to look tough. You gotta be tough. You can't show your weakness because then someone's gonna take advantage of you. So I think that's what it is. And a lot is like from their parents.
Oh yeah,
how
sure.
how their parents were.
Yeah.
And so I think that's just what it is. It's just a long line of who knows when it started, but it just keeps going. It's passed on throughout the generations. But I'm gonna throw you in for a loop. When I was 17, I got arrested for a DWI, and that woke me up. I was sitting in a jail cell, looking at the wall. I mean, just ceiling just like this high, of nothing. And I said, man, I don't want to do this again. This is boring.
Yeah. Were you at a party, I guess, or just?
It's funny because it was I believe it was a Friday. It was in March because I had just turned 17. And we had an early release day, so it was like a half a day. I don't know why they do it, but they did it. So me and my friend, he was like, hey man, let's get some beers and let's go fishing. So we bought an 18, and between me and him, we went fishing. We killed it, and I was driving back to the house. So it was about sunset, and another friend was like, hey, come on over. We got some more beers over here. So I'm like, okay, we went over there. So drank a few there, and then other people are like, hey, we're over here. Come over here. So we went over there. So in my mind, I'm good.
Yeah.
At that time, I was drinking a lot, so I really didn't have much of a buzz. And it's funny because I told my dad before we left what we were going to be doing. He's like, all right, just be safe. And I was like, okay. And we left that last party. I dropped him off, and I'm almost to my house. I'm like a block away from my house, and I'm like, oh man, I need to go get gum. My dad's going to kill me. So I went to the store, bought some gum, and I'm pretty sure the clerk called in that, hey, this kid reeks of alcohol. So the cops pull me over. They do the whole thing, and in my mind, I'm like, man, I passed that. I passed it. I'm good. Next thing I know, I'm in handcuffs. It's like, okay. All right. And so they called my dad to go pick up the truck, and the look in his eyes was sheer disappointment. I'd never seen him, so upset. And at that point, the alcohol's starting to hit me, so I'm drunk. I don't care. And there's no jail in Presidio, so you have to drive about 30 minutes to Marfa, and that's because Marfa's in the same county as Presidio. It's I think it's the second biggest county in Texas. So there's a bunch of emptiness, But anyways, so I sit it out, see the judge, get bonded out, and my mom's there to pick me up with my grandma. My grandma slaps me the first thing she sees me.
Oh,
and
man.
My grandma, I hadn't said this yet, but my grandma and my grandpa were always in my life. They were a big part of my life. They were huge to me. And so when my grandma slapped me, I knew I messed up. I was like, grandma's mad at me. I was like, I didn't say a word. I just let her hit me. I got in the truck. And I just remember thinking, prior to me getting arrested, I felt invincible. I felt like couldn't be touched.
Yeah.
We could do whatever we wanted, party whenever we want, And that was a wake-up call. It was a big wake-up call to me. And I was like, I need to chill out. And I was pretty wild. So I chilled out. My friend, he was like, hey man, you good? I was like, yeah, I'm good. I'm just going to relax for a while. It's like, okay. So you'll feel better. I was like, okay. He was a good friend of mine. His name was Richard at the time. And, there were some times where he went to Mexico, got When he invited me, and I was like, no, I'm gonna chill. He got tied up into some pretty big messes over there. I don't really want to say, but it's a pretty big mess. I didn't see him for like a week. He was in jail. And I finally saw him. He told me, and I was like, man, I'm glad I didn't go.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
You know?
Yeah, you don't want to be locked up over there.
But yeah. So, fast forward, I graduated. I met this girl, and I had my first child with her. I was 19. And, prior to that, I guess, that whole, effect of going to jail kind of wore off, so I was kind of getting a little wild again. I had my first son. And I remember holding him for the first time, and it was like complete change. Just something took over me.
Yeah.
It was an overwhelming feeling, and I said, I just want to be there for you every single day of my life. And you can't be there for a child if you're in jail. So I started cleaning myself up, and I was like, I want this little guy to look up to me. I want him to be proud of me. So I changed my life. I stopped partying, I stopped drinking, and part of that reason was when my dad didn't drink, and I asked him, one day we were fishing, because me and my dad fish a lot. That was one thing that, he taught me as a kid that to this day I love. And, we were going fishing one day, and I was like, hey Dad, how come you don't drink? He said, well, one day we were going to the river, and you looked at me and you're about 5 years old. You said, Dad, why do you drink beer? And I was like, I don't know. So I stopped. And I was just thinking, man, I'm the reason he stopped. And I didn't tell him that, but I was just thinking that the whole way to the river. Because for some reason, whenever we go to the river, no matter what kind of situation we're going through, if, there's something rough going on at the moment, my dad's like, let's go for a drive to the river. Let's go fish.
Yeah.
There's something about driving through the mountains, getting to the river that was just calming. You just have a moment to yourself. You're like away from community, away from the issue. You're just thinking about everything. You can reflect on, the choices, how to fix it, just everything. So I was like, man, I'm the reason. So I was like, I don't want to drink for this little guy.
Yeah.
And so I didn't, and
Did y'all grow up in church or anything, like your parents?
We went to church. We were Catholic. I'm still Catholic. We went to church as a kid, but at some point we stopped going. I'm not really sure why. After my son was born, I started going back to church. There was a father there that he was amazing. I always went to church. I was falling asleep. It was boring. But there was a father there that was, when he preached, it was meaningful. The way he just spoke was very, charismatic. It grabbed you, and you felt, I guess, clean when you left church, in a sense. And
wow.
I went to church every day. Then they had to. He was actually pretty amazing father. The church was pretty run down there, and he actually used a lot of the donations to build for the churches that he, I guess, was in charge of in that area. And no other father had done that before. So he was pretty well respected, I guess, in the community there in Presidio. But he ended up having to move. I think he went to Beckles.
Oh, okay.
And, they brought in another father, and it was just same old thing. Just
gotcha.
He didn't connect.
Yeah.
No,
I feel you on that. Yeah.
But yeah. So yeah, I guess we, in a sense, yes and no. Not as much as what we should have, but we were taught, about the Lord and the Jesus, and we have our faith. But I guess when my son was about 4 or 5 months old, my dad's like, well, what are you gonna do? You got to get a job. I was like, man, I don't know. So he called my uncle up. My uncle worked for Dawson Geophysics as a surveyor. Well, he wasn't a surveyor, but he was a safety crew. He was like, hey, man, I can get you a job as a surveyor. I was like, okay, sure. So, I went to Midland. He got me the job. Well, I applied for the job and I got hired, right? He helped me out. And from there, straight to Roswell. Went to Roswell for a week, and it was different. I got up. It was an easy job. Nothing too crazy. I don't know. I guess every kind of surveyor has a different aspect to what they do. But what we would do, we'd have these big GPS things, like a backpack, had like an antenna. We'd walk, and we'd have it was like, I guess, like a metal detector looking deal.
Mm-hmm.
And it had like this little code. You'd walk, and you'd just kind of put in like a code, like if there's a big brush or something where they can't come and lay the seismic pipe that takes X-rays of the ground.
Oh, okay.
So that's what we do. We'd walk 5 miles, whatever kind of terrain, every day, and it was cool, but I guess I got homesick. I was over there for a month. I didn't have a car. I didn't have no friends, and I was in a hotel room other than having to be at work. So, I missed my son.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So, I found out that there was a guy going to Beckles, and I called up my parents. I said, I can't do this no more. I need to be with my family. I don't like being apart.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna go to college. So they're like, all right, if you're gonna go to college, then you better do it.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay. Called up my uncle. I was like, hey man, I'm sorry, but who do I need to let know that I'm done? And he was mad. He was upset. And I said, man, I need to go be with my son. And he said, well, go do what you got to do. But he was upset, hung up on the phone with me. And so the next day, I told, I guess, my boss or whatever he was in charge of the survey crew. I said, hey man, I'm done. So I got on the car with the guy that was going back to Beckles, and my grandparents met me there, and they took me back to Presidio. And the next day I enrolled in college. And
what was your major?
My major was criminal justice.
Criminal justice.
I was gonna say criminology, but it's criminal justice, Bachelor of Science. I had a minor in kinesiology, and so got sidetracked. I decided to go to college, because I was like, man. Prior to taking off to college, because I still didn't know what I wanted to go for. Me and my dad go fishing, to think. And I was like, hey, Dad, did you always know what you wanted to do when you grew up? Because my dad's a customs agent for Homeland Security, so he works at the port of entry.
Oh, God. Nice.
And he said, no. I said, well, why'd you want to be a custom agent? He said, well, I wanted to be a heavy machinery operator, I guess, like driving the bulldozers or whatever.
Oh, yeah.
But when he was, I guess, like 18 or 19, he was in an accident, and he had his thumb, it was cut off. And he said, they told me I couldn't do that. I was like, oh. I was like, okay. So, I guess, rewinding a little bit, when I was a kid, he was a janitor. And I was like, I didn't think much of it. And then he became a security officer. And then he applied for customs, and he, got that job. And so I asked him, I said, why'd you want to be customs? And he's like, well, I took a job as a janitor, to help support.
Yeah.
I wasn't going to take a handout, so I took it to help support y'all. Y'all didn't have everything, but what y'all had was what y'all needed. I was able to provide for y'all. I was like, man, that's true. I didn't realize it. I'm sitting there at the, waiting for a fish to bite, just thinking while he's talking. That's true. We didn't have a lot, but I didn't realize that. And I was like, man, I respect that. So he said, so I became, I had the opportunity to become a security officer for the port of entry. And I was like, well, why'd you do that? Why not just go become a custom agent? So, well, I felt like it would give me experience, help me get in better.
Yeah.
So, and I didn't know this, but he told me, after about 6 years there, I started applying for customs. I got denied 3 times. And I didn't know that until he told me that moment. And he said, finally they took me, they hired me. And he said, when I was in the academy, which was in Georgia, I was on the gun range. And I guess the gun operator, noticed, you have to do, I guess they have to do a drill where they have to shoot with their weak hand, which I guess his weak hand is his right hand, which is the one with the thumb. because he's left-handed.
Yeah.
So well, I don't really know the drill. It wasn't a weekend if I'm thinking about it now, but he said the gun range instructor noticed that he was missing his thumb, grabbed him, pulled him off, and had him sit down. Didn't tell him why. So he's thinking, he's like, man, what did I do? And then next thing he knows, he's getting sent. I guess I don't really know what it's called. I guess the main office. It's kind of like a principal's office. I don't know. He just said the main office, but in my mind, I'm envisioning like a principal's office because he's like, Mr. Holguin, we're gonna have to let you go. He's like, why? So, well, sir, you got that amputee. What happens if you handle your firearm and you get someone else hurt? He said, I've had this for years now. I've overcome a lot of obstacles. It's never been an issue. Why now are you denying me? He said, I can go out there and prove to you that I can do this. And I was like, what, Dad? You told him that? I was blown away because these are, he's nothing. These are his superiors. Who is he to them?
Yeah.
And they're like, all right, well, we'll give you a chance. And I was like, wow. He stood up for himself. So I was like, wow, that's pretty cool. So, but I guess the moral of the story out of that little part was he never gave up on what he wanted to do. Because he said that, after he couldn't become a CDL, he saw the custom, jobs and thought they were cool and wanted to do that. So he worked his way from being a janitor to a custom agent, which to this day I think is amazing. I'm like, wow, Dad. Whenever I get down, like, man, I can't do this, or they're not gonna hire me, I just look at, I look back to my dad. You know what? It's worth trying for. If you get it, you get it. Even if you really want it, just keep trying. So when he told me that, he's like, you should do it. They got great benefits. You can early retire, and it'll be beneficial for you and your family. So I was like, okay, we'll give it a shot. And I guess I haven't touched on this, but throughout high school, I guess I got into drugs. I smoked a lot of marijuana, and when I had my son, I cleaned up, right? So I was like, you know what? If I can't do it, might as well catch it. I guess because the drug environment always, I guess, caught my attention. It entertained me for some reason. Yeah. So I was like, if I can't do that, I'm gonna catch it. So I was like, what better way than a custom agent? They bring it across, you get big loads. That's an excitement right there.
Oh yeah.
And so I started looking at the the majors, and I was like, well, criminal justice should help me get in. Right. So I went, and I did my college there in Alpine, Texas, at Sol Ross State University.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And it was an okay college. I remember having one class called criminology, and the main thing that I took from it was the study of how criminals become criminals, because not everybody just wakes up and I'm gonna go be a criminal. It's a social norm to them, meaning they grew up in a poverty area. It kind of touches back on the Chicano thing, where we have to have machismo. So you have a kid that's in a poverty area who has uncle, selling drugs, breaking into cars, has brother, that's in a gang, doing the same thing. Dad has been in that gang since who knows when, since he was a kid. So it's you only get what I'm saying. It's a whole family of, this is poverty. This is what we have to do to survive. So they think that's the normal. So when they grow up, they start doing that because it's normal to them. They don't know it's bad. So that was one thing that I thought was cool. That's pretty about much the only thing I took from college, was that the only way to change a person is to be able to lending a helping hand, to be able to say, hey man, you don't have to choose this route.
Yeah.
There's better ways. You can go out and get a job. It may not be the best paying job, but at least you're making an honest money. At least you don't got to worry about someone, coming after you. You can go home every day. You got to worry about laws or a rival person wanting to come and take what they should be earning. You know, it's honest pay. That's all they need. It's that one person. So throughout my college time, I was a jailer there in Alpine, and it was weird because when I never been inside a jail other than that one time, which I didn't really see a whole lot of that jail.
Yeah.
And it was an interesting thing because in that jail they would house state, I guess state convictions or penalties, whatever, and federal. So they'd house a lot of illegal aliens. So my girlfriend asked me, she's like, how do you know Spanish? I was like, because my parents didn't really speak Spanish growing up in the house. So I rarely knew Spanish, until I started working at that job. And it was an interesting thing to see because I'm new. The jailers that have been there before me are like, man, you got to act tough. You can't let them see that you're scared. So you got to be mean. So I did that. Man, it was like one of the most confrontational times ever. And then I would see people come in to jail, and I did a little bit of everything, man. It was a small jail, so I would do booking, I would do dispatching, I would do cell checks where you go in, check on inmates, see what they need, feed them, get them whatever, right? And a lot of these people were good people.
Yeah. Oh, definitely.
That just got caught up in a moment.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, man, you don't gotta be mean to them.
Mm-mm.
They're human.
Yeah.
And I started, showing respect, and they gave me it back.
Yeah, man. I used to be a CO in La Mesa at the maximum security prison over there, and I was just like you at first. Mm-hmm. You had to kind of be tough, supposedly, but dude, the more I got to know the inmates, and the more I respected them, it was just like, man, they're just there to do their time.
Yeah,
like they're not there to mess with me. They're not gonna do anything to me. They're just there. Hey, I'm just here to do my time, and I'm here to go. And dude, once I figured that out, it was just like, dude, got along with any of them. None of them would ever give me problems there.
Yeah,
and it was just, and some of them, you can just see change.
Yeah,
day by day, the change in them was like, man, that's awesome.
Yeah. There was a few times where, they'd bring someone riled up because they were upset they got arrested for whatever reason. And you got these other, COs trying to, be mean to him. And I'm like, look, guys, get out of here. I'm like, look, man, I didn't bring you here. Your anger is not with me.
Yeah.
I'm going to treat you fair and respectfully. All I ask is you do the same to me. So let's just comply with me, man, and it'll go smoother. Yeah, because in all honesty, man, I don't want to be mean to you.
Yeah.
But if I need to, then I'll have to. And they're like, really? And I had one guy who was like, wow, I can respect that. And he sat down, quiet, never gave another issue. I was like, man. So a lot of times, I was the problem solver. They'd call me, and I'm like, man, okay, here we go. So I'm like, all right. So I'm like, what's going on, man? Okay. A lot of people just want to talk.
Yeah.
They just want to voice their opinion. Listen to them.
Yep.
That's all you got to do. So it's funny because you wanted to touch about why I became a cop. Throughout that time where I was going to school, I finished my college, so I applied for customs. Me and my friends, it was like 4 guys, some of my closest friends that I grew up with, we applied, we did all the tests, man. There's numerous tests. To become a federal employee, it's
super strict.
It's super strict. Just the pre-screening application took me like 3 days to fill out.
Oh, wow.
There was just so many questions. And so anyways, man, I did all that. I passed it all. I went and did a polygraph, and I passed it. So I'm like, I come home, I tell my wife at the moment, because I'm divorced. I told him, man, I got this, I got the job. You know, I passed. That's all I needed. You know, I get a month later, a month later, I get a letter in the mail saying they denied me for the answers I gave. I was like, what? The answers I gave, they were trying to say that I was cartel related, affiliated, because of an answer I gave them. They asked me why I wanted to be, a custom agent. I told them, growing up, I had a lot of friends that turned to drugs. They turned to that nautical life where they were selling drugs and bringing it across the border and, I guess taking it to wherever they took it. I don't know.
Yeah.
I told them they were good people, but that wasn't the life for me, and I distanced myself from it. I had a few die. So if I can help change that, help put a dent, whether if it's small or big, then that's what I want to do. And that answer was the one that made them think that I was affiliated. So I was like, all right, man.
Wow.
So I tried again. I was like, you know what? My dad never gave up. So
Yeah.
I kept trying again. I sent them letters appealing it. They all got denied. So I was like, man, okay, whatever. What can you do? So I'd been working as a jailer for about, 6 years. I had my second son. Money's getting tight. I was like, you know what? I got to do something that's going to help benefit. It's going to be a little bit more beneficial. So I was like, there I saw Ross. They were doing, get your peace officer certification or license. So I was like, I'll do it. I'll do it for the time being. Because growing up, I never wanted to be a cop. I hated cops. it was like the last thing on my mind. My dad was like, why don't you be a cop? Before I was going to, I was like, nah. I was like, they don't get paid a lot. And nah, I don't like cops. They're all mean. They're a-holes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I was working at the jail. I got to know some of them. There was one that I liked a lot. He was real good with the law, and he was real fair with people.
Yeah.
So I respected that, and I was like, you know what? Let's go try it out. I got it. I started doing it, and I liked it. And it blew my mind how much I liked it. So I worked there in Brewster County for about a year, and I have a friend that lives here. He worked with me there at the jail, and I showed him the ropes. I showed him. I guess I trained him, and he really liked me as a person. And I guess this is the reason why I asked why you wanted to do the podcast with me, because for some reason people tend to gravitate towards me.
Oh yeah, I can.
And
see
that
that.
I've never known why. I'm just a normal person.
I think it's because you're just so you're likable. Not only that, but you're open to just listen and talk. You go to the gym and you see people with headphones and this and that, and a lot of times you go and talk to them. It's just they may give you like a one-word answer and that's it. But with you, it was like, no, let's talk. And it was more of just the conversation. So I think that's why. I don't know. I mean, that's kind of what I see within you.
So, but yeah, it's funny because I remember seeing you at the gym and I was like, did I give that guy a ticket? Because I felt like you were a mad dog, and I was like, man. I was like, oh well.
Oh.
So that's what I remember. If I asked you, if I said I can't. I think I asked you like, hey, do I know you, or where have I seen you?
Yeah, you did.
I felt like I gave him a ticket because there was like another guy that, man, I gave him a ticket. He ran like 3 stop signs, and he was so mad. He was like, I didn't run no stop signs. I'm like, well, I mean, this is you're not convicted right now, or this is not a guilty plea. Just saying you want to, you're gonna go talk to the judge, and if you feel you did not do that, then fight the ticket. More than it's your right, do it, man. I don't care. I'm all for you, using your rights. That's what they're there for. But, he was really upset. So I was like, it was dark. He kind of looked like him. And I was just like, I was like, no, I remember he asked me about doing, what was it? Cops.
Yeah, Cops and Robbers. Yeah. I remember that. Yeah.
Yeah. And I was like, no, that can't be the same guy.
Yeah.
So I was like, I'm just going to say something to you. And then, we ended up talking. And, I can talk if you want to talk,
Oh yeah.
But yeah, so he had left from Alpine and came over here because he was having a baby. We were there one time, doing a shift, and he said, Joey, what would you do, man? I'm about to have a baby. And I was like, I'll just say his name. His name is Caleb. I'm pretty sure just about everybody in Seminole knows him.
Oh, Caleb.
Lambert.
Yeah, I know Caleb.
I said, Caleb, man. In all honesty, dude, I would go be with your girl, man. You're having a baby. This is a big thing in your life. Go be with her. Don't worry about this job, man. Go get a job over there. But be with your baby, man. Be with it, cause it's the best thing in the world. You're gonna love it. And sure enough, within about a week, he put his 2 weeks in. And I was just like, well, I hope he's happy. I hope he goes and bees with her.
Yeah.
So I kept in contact with him, and he was like, hey, we're hiring over here. So I was like, all right, sure, why not? So I got it, and it was, I applied for the job, and it was really, I guess, different from being a deputy to a police officer. It was really, I guess it was cool. I learned a lot. I guess because the way that they trained me there, it was pretty horrible. I didn't like it at all. And Brewster, that is, they gave me about a week to 2 weeks of training, and they said, you got this. Man, I was fresh out the academy. I was not certain of some of the stuff that I had to do, and it was like, you're the only deputy on for one shift for the whole night. At least here we could call, hey man, I got this going on.
Yeah.
And man, if you called somebody over there and woke them up, oh man, you'd be hearing about it the next day.
Dang it.
So I was like, it shouldn't be that way. You should be willing to teach me. I want to learn. I want to learn. But if you're gonna be that way, you scare off so many people from learning, and then they end up being, bad cops.
Yeah.
Because they think they're doing right, but they're not.
Gotcha.
So I knew stuff over there. A lot of the stuff that they did was, so I guess Alpine is about an hour and a half from the border, and there's a lot of terrain where illegal backpackers would come, and they'd have about 50-pound backpacks of marijuana to their back, and they're walking. And those guys I give it to them, man, because that's some crazy terrain. It's rough. There's mountain lions. There's bears.
Oh yeah.
You name it, man. And they're walking on like shoes with holes in the sole. And I'm like, golly, dude. You're doing a crime, but I give it to you, man. I would not be able to do that.
Yeah.
Because there were some few times where we apprehended some, and we're out in the middle of the mountain, and we have to carry those 50-pound bags all the way back to the truck. And man, it was like, it took about 30 minutes, but it felt a lifetime. And I was like, man, y'all walked for 3 days with that? I'm like, golly, wow, crazy.
Mm-hmm.
But so that was a lot of the aspect that I liked. I liked being able to do that, because it was sort of something like with the customs. So I guess that's where my love affection for being able to find narcotics started growing.
Gotcha.
So I came over here, and they'd get excited for like, I guess like a little ball of marijuana. I'm like, man, that's nothing.
Yeah.
I've had times where we've gotten like 500 pounds,
Dang.
But it was not just me, group effort. It was a group effort.
Yeah.
But so they, I learned a lot in how to do policing here. I learned a lot. But at the same time, there were some, there's some officers that are mean,
Yeah.
And I think back to this one time. I had a sergeant at the time. He's no longer here. I had just started, and I stopped and helped a guy because his tire fell off his car. And apparently this guy had always been in trouble or, given trouble, and was always, I guess, bruised with the cops. I was like, hey, man, you good? You need any help? And he's like, yeah, I got a record coming already. I was like, oh, okay. And I ended up running, his license, and he had some warrants. So I was like, hey, man, you got some warrants. Do you want to just pay them out? And so as soon as they had warrants, and, well, they knew, who he was because they'd been here for a while. So they showed up, and they were just standing there kind of in amazement of how this guy was acting with me. And So, anyways, he was like, man, I got the money at the house. It's like, all right, well, let's get your car taken care of, man. We'll go to your house. So we go to the house, and I was there for at least about 30 minutes, and I'm like, man, I'm in some stranger's house. I don't know what's going on, but he's like, man, I guess I don't have the money. I'm sorry. So I'll just go to jail. It's like, okay. So I put him in handcuffs, and I took him to the jail. When I get back to the office, they're like, Joey, you know who that was? I'm like, no. Well, I don't remember his name, but they're like, man, he was pretty wild. And I was blown away by the way he was acting with you. And I was like, well, I just show everybody respect. I don't do nothing special.
Yeah.
And so they're like, well, I guess they were impressed, because it's like I told you, man, me as an officer, I give everybody respect, because it's, like I told you, growing up, I hated cops. They were mean. I don't want people to hate us.
Yeah.
And this goes back, to when I was going to the academy. At that time, I forgot exactly where it was. I think like Baltimore, like what's going on today, the riots, because there was a killing of an African male, and I can't remember if it was a justified killing or not at that time, but I just remember how much hate was coming to officers.
Oh yeah, man. Yeah.
And they told us, that was like the first time they said, cadets, this is it's gonna be a rough time in policing from here on out. Mm-hmm. You're really gonna have to watch what you're doing. And I was like, okay. I was like, well, let's not have to watch what we're doing. Let's start showing that people can trust in us again.
Yeah.
Let's build that trust up, because that's what we're here for. And that was another thing that I learned in criminology. You got the people in poverty, they don't trust law enforcement. And why is that? Because of, they've been dealt a bad hand where there's mean cops. They feel like their justice wasn't served, so they don't trust us. When I show up on the scene, I want you, whoever they are, it doesn't matter their race, I'm here to help you as a human being. I want them to feel that they could trust me enough to tell me, hey, this is what's going on.
Yeah.
If I can help you, then I'm going to help you. And if I can't, then I'm going to find out how to help you. That was always my way of doing my job. So, they always ask me, when I applied here, they asked me what was my reason to wanting to be a cop, and I told them to help others. I want to be able to touch one person. If I could touch one person and they end up changing their life, then I'm doing my job. They don't have to tell me.
Yeah.
But if they're able to change their life around because of an action that I did, then that's a job well done. And I don't need to be told. I just want them to be able to change at some point in time. It doesn't have to be right away. I understand everybody makes mistakes. We're all human beings, but if they can use something that, I was able to, I guess, preach to them, then I'm doing my job.
Yeah.
So I guess the chief, he was always telling me, he was really proud of me, the way people gave feedback towards me. There was a lot of times we hired a few people, man, they were straight rude. There were these young guys straight out of the academy. They're academy, what are you taught? You got to be mean, or else you're not gonna control the scene. And I'd pull them aside. I'm like, look, man, we don't got to do it this way.
Yeah.
Be fair. Be patient. But if you notice, and I'm not saying be on guard. Always be aware of your surroundings, but be fair and be patient. Understand that they're going through something. And I was like, look at it this way, man. Imagine you go out of town, something happens, and you need the cops. They show up, and they're straight jerks to you. They don't even care who you are, care what's going on. They just want to get the report in and get out of there. How would you feel? You'd be upset, man. You'd be like, man, you I don't know if we can curse, but you'd like be, man, F these cops. They're worthless. You don't want. I said, this is a community you serve. It's a community you live in. You want people to not be saying that about you.
Yeah.
You know? So I was like, you know, you got to change it, bud. You got to change it. Some did, some didn't, you know? And I was like, I can only help you so much. The rest is on my sergeant. But, you know, one of those guys aren't here no more, so that's good.
Yeah.
But
You know, sorry to stop you there, but okay, you moved here. Were you and your wife still together then, or were y'all divorced before you moved here? Or?
No, we divorced back in 2014.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so I got married like when I was 19. I think I was
Mm-hmm.
24 when I got divorced. And let me talk, man, that was a rough time. You know, I was like straight out of college. You know, I thought things were going good.
Yeah, because I remember you saying, because you had another son.
Yeah.
Too. That's right.
Yeah, so I actually got 3 boys. So, you know, I had my 3rd child, and, you know, while she was pregnant, she left me for another guy, and that tore my world up. I was like, man, I thought we were doing good.
Yeah.
But, you know, I was in a pretty dark hole. I had my oldest son living with me, and my dad told me, you got to pull it together. You got little eyes on you. And I was like, yeah, my son's watching me. You know, he's seeing me cry. You know, he's seeing me at my worst. I'm like, man. You know, because it was like for a month, I was just, man, it was rough. I started drinking again, and, you know, it was just, I didn't care about nothing.
Yeah.
You know, it was whatever. I was like, man, the worst has happened to me already. What more can happen to me? I was numb in a sense. And my dad came and visited me because I was living in Alpine. And he told me that. You know, he said he wanted to come and check up on me. He said, you know, you got to pull it together. You know, don't do this. Don't act this way in front of your son.
Yeah.
So I was like, you know, it's like, yeah, he's right. I gotta pull it together. So, you know, my son was just like whenever, you know, he was first born, you know, changed my life again. You know, he helped me, I guess, get stronger. I was like, he shouldn't have to see me, you know, if she doesn't want to be in our life, then she doesn't want to be in our life, you know. So I would, you know, like, he needs to know he can count on me. So that was, you know, stuff I tried teaching him. I met the girlfriend that I am with right now, and she was like amazing. She had no hate. And what I mean by that is, like, she hated nobody. She was like kind to everyone. And I had never seen that in a person, and it blew my mind. And I guess because, you know, I don't know, me and my ex-wife, you know, we got along at the point when I was doing bad. And I guess, you know, she grew up from a bad family too. So, you know, it was normal to her. And then I started trying to change my life around. And, you know, she had one aunt where, you know, they were selling drugs. And I'm like, yo, we can't be around that.
Yeah.
You know, I'm trying to make a career in my life. And it was always a constant argument with that. You know, I'm like, look, I'm not trying to say, you know, hey, stay away from your family. But I'm like, if you know they got drugs with them and they're going somewhere in the car, you know, don't go with them.
Yeah.
You know? Because they can turn it around and put it on you. Because, I mean, they were that type. So,
dang it.
It was one of those things where she felt that I was trying to keep her from her family. And I was like, no, I just want the best for my family. I want the best for you, you know, but it just turned into, it just tore us apart. So I was like, I guess, you know, two people from different universes can't build, I guess, a relationship. I mean, they can, maybe, I don't know how perfect it is, but, you know, it tore us apart. And so I met my girlfriend right now, Macinda, and, you know, she was so kind. She was loving, and...
You meet her in Alpine?
Yeah, I met her in Alpine. And I just remember thinking, you know, I was in this dark hole, didn't care about nobody. You know, she came in, and I felt like a light was, starting to shine. I was like, I want to be like you. I want to be more open. I want to be more kind. Like, you hate nobody. Like, how is that? Why? And she's like, what's the point of hating people? You're wasting your energy, on someone that doesn't deserve that.
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah, that's true. So, and it's funny because my ex-wife's father also told me one time, I guess because he got sent to prison, and I saw him when he got out, and I was like, man, how was it? He's like, man, there's always people in there, trying to start stuff, but the moment you let someone else's words get to you, they've won. They have control of you. And I was like, what? I was blown away because we didn't have a good relationship, and I was kind of like, wow, that was like the smartest thing I've ever heard you say. And I was just like, yeah, that is true. So I still use that as a principle today, like even in policing. I'm like, because I guess, well, I don't want to go off traffic, man. I start one thing, I bounce around.
No, you're good,
yeah,
man. I know I kind of took it back a little bit, but I was like, man, I know he said that they were divorced, so I was like, let me stop him there real quick and let's go back here.
Yeah, but we got together, and it was like late 2014. We've been together for about 6 years, and she was really, really helpful to me. She was, there was times because I told you I had another son with my ex-wife and one on the way, and it was hard for me because my children are my everything.
Yeah.
They're my pride and joy, and it was hard, And as we were dating, my oldest son wanted to be with his mom. So I was like, man, if you want to be with her, that's fine. I'm not going to keep you from, being happy.
Yeah.
So I'll let him be with her. And, that was hard on me. And, she was always there supporting me. So I was like, man, she's amazing, man. She's so kind and stuff. So I was like, I want to be like you, So I started like just, being kind to everybody. My grandfather as a kid, I never knew why he told me this. I always thought it was just drunk talk because my grandpa liked to drink a lot. He'd always tell me, Joey, because he'd always come up to me when he was drunk. He's like, Joey, you be good to everybody and everybody will love you. I'm like, yeah, okay, Grandpa. And I'm like, I'll think back to today, I'm like, it's true, if you're kind to everyone, it's hard for someone to hate you. They may hate because you're so kind, but,
yeah,
that's their own issue. They got something internal that they got to fix. Mm-hmm. So, throughout that time when I was, we started first dating, I started looking back on my life, looking back on the type of person I was. And, I was in that dark hole, and I feel like, if I hadn't gotten to that point in my life, I wouldn't have been able to come out like a new man. You gotta look at yourself like when you're at your weakest, see what got you there, and then build yourself back up. Was this a problem? All right, I'm gonna fix myself. You gotta fix yourself because you want to, I guess, for it to work. So I made a lot of changes. I started just being more understanding and listening to people, and I feel better from it. And I was asking Macinda yesterday. I was like, am I still the man that you fell in love with when you first met me? And she stayed quiet. I was like, well, I guess I know my answer. And she's like, why are you asking me this? And I was like, I was just thinking, because when I'm in the gym, that's all I do. If I got my headphones on, it's not because I'm trying to ignore you. I'm just thinking.
Yeah.
I was like, well, let me tell you, when we first met, I was in, one of the darkest places in my life, and here's this person that's so kind, has no hate for no one, when she could easily hate someone, but you don't, because that's just who you are. And I loved it. It was a beautiful thing. And you changed me. You changed me for the better. And if you ever feel like you're losing that person, you should let me know, because I want you to still love me for who I was when we met. And she gets emotional, all stuff. She started crying. And I was like, it's it's hard. You know, you're with someone for so long. You just go through the daily routines. You got to remember to touch back up on the things that, you know, made y'all fall in love with, I guess, should you say, you know?
Yeah.
Everyday life just, you know, takes its course, and sometimes you don't notice it, but I don't know. I was just in the gym just wondering. I was like, man, does she still feel the same way?
Yeah.
So I was like, I'm just going to ask her. So I texted her, and she didn't reply, so I was like, oh, that's not good. So I went back, so I was like, so do you have an answer? And that's what she was like, why are you asking me this? Why are you being weird? And I was like, oh, what? I'm not being weird. It's just, I'm communicating, you know?
Yeah.
Like, you know, sometimes we forget to communicate. We got to communicate. But,
how long have y'all been together?
man, don't put me on the spot, because I know she's going to watch this later. 6.5 years.
Oh,
yeah.
Nice. Wow.
Yeah, since 2014 is 6 years.
6 years.
Yeah, I mean, pretty much should be married by now, but
maybe soon, maybe later, huh?
Yeah, maybe later. I mean, it's in the future.
That's good.
Yeah, but I mean, she changed me for a better person.
No, man, heck yeah, man. That's good. That's awesome.
Yeah, so, you know, don't let someone, you know, don't waste your energy on somebody that doesn't, you know, they don't need it. And my ex-father-in-law saying, the moment that someone, you know, takes control of your emotions, they've won, has helped me out a lot in policing, because a lot of people, whether they receive a ticket or not, they don't like being pulled over.
Yeah.
Regardless if they were, you know, in the wrong.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the minute that you pull up, it's, what'd you pull me over for? You know, just instant defensiveness.
Yeah.
I'm like, hang on, let me explain to you. And, you know, I explain to them, and then we go about our days. You know, some people still are upset from that day where, you know, I don't give a lot of tickets. I give a lot of warnings. I'm like, hey man, let's just slow it down. You know, we got kids out here.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you wouldn't want your kid out here while you're driving, well, someone else is driving around like that, would you? And they're like, hell yeah, true. So that's a lot of stuff that I would do, is just try and explain things.
You know, going from catching, you know, you were saying like all this narcotics from over there. You know, that exciting you to come in here. Like, why that big of a change? Like, if you were so, you know, having that over there, like, why come over here to where there's like, I'm not saying there's nothing, but you know.
Oh, you'd be surprised, man.
Yeah. Like, I know there's stuff that goes on here, but
yeah,
I'm pretty sure there's a lot more that goes on over there.
Just the atmosphere in that place was,
the community, I guess, and
well, the office that I worked for.
Yeah, gotcha. Okay.
It was a pretty toxic. It was it was a lot of trash talking, it was just toxic, you know.
Gotcha.
I don't know, it was something that I didn't notice, I guess, because, you know, you got the jail and you got the deputies. It's different worlds. We're together as one, but, you know, we're here, we're there. You know, if you do something, they're just there, just trash talking you, like, oh, you should have done this, you know, like, oh, who cares, mess them up, you know, or I'm like, no. So, anyways, you know, he offered, you know, he told me about it. He said it's a good place. Everybody's, you know, it's good morale. We all get along. I was like,
so you've enjoyed it here, so far. Let me, and I know I told you we were going to talk about this too. A question that the George Floyd incident. Like, you being an officer, what is your view? I don't know if you've seen the video or not. I cannot watch it. It doesn't.
I saw the video, and it was one, several questions in my head, but two, it was very upsetting.
Yeah.
As an officer point of view, as why his knee was placed in that spot. You know, that is day one defensive tax. Never cut off circulation. Never. You're in the wrong the minute you do it.
Yeah.
It's illegal. Even as for us, if we do that, it's wrong. We should never do it, you know? So I saw a glimpse of it, and I was like, "What the hell is he doing?
Mm-hmm.
What is he doing? Why does he have his knee there?" And I saw another angle, and I saw that there was already 2 officers on him, and I see this other guy just standing there,
Yeah.
and I'm like, "What are you doing? You know, tell him, hey man, get off his neck.
Mm.
You know, they got this under control, or move your knee, move it, dude. You're cutting off his circulation." So for the officer that didn't, I mean, clear as day, I'm pretty sure he saw it.
Yeah. Oh,
you know?
yeah.
If he did not do anything, he is just as at fault for it.
Mm-hmm.
Man, it makes me mad.
Yeah.
It makes me mad.
No, I feel you.
You know, there was no need for it. And today I heard he was a 19-year veteran, and I'm thinking, a 19-year-old veteran, can you only imagine the stuff that he did and got away with?
Oh, yeah.
Because clear as day, he was comfortable putting his knee there, knowing that several are recording him, and you know he was comfortable enough to do it. I'm pretty sure he knew he was wrong.
No, yeah.
You know, so it's just like, why didn't one of those officers say, "Hey, man, stop"?
Yeah.
Stop. You know, if I was there, that's what I would do.
Mm-hmm.
Man, stop. Look, dude, they got this under control. They got this. You know, let's try and control the crowd. You know, and then I go back like, dude, what were you thinking, man?
Yeah.
Why would you put your knee there? And, you know, because if you see it, you're just as fault for it.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, it's kind of hard to say this, but as a bystander, if you see someone's life is at jeopardy, you have a right to be able to defend them. Now, I don't know how it is in Minneapolis, but if I gotta look it back up, but in Texas, there is something that you can defend. You know, if you feel that that person is being, you know, unfairly treated. I guess excessive force. That's what it's called. It's excessive force. You know, that officer was excessive in the amount of force that he was applying. You know, because we're taught, you know, you apply force with the amount of force that's given. So if they're not hitting you, you don't hit them.
Yeah.
If you hit them and they never hit you, oh boy, you're you're in the wrong. You know, and it goes. I want to bring up a situation that I was in here. I think it was like back in January. I was about mid shift. I went to stop a car and they ended up, fleeing. And we get on Denver City Highway, and we're going, and about halfway to Denver City, I hear a loud pop, and in my mind, it doesn't register that they're shooting at me. So I was like, man, what? Car's backfiring. And then next thing I know, I see a bunch of glass just hitting my windshield. I'm like, oh man, they're shooting at me. And I hear it again, pop, pop, pop. So I couldn't see who was in there. I could not see a body. I couldn't see where they're shooting from. And you see a lot of videos where, or you hear about it in the news, mother flees from cops while baby's in her lap.
Oh, yeah.
Or, they're running from the cops and they got a freaking toddler in the back seat.
Yeah.
You never know. And anyways, I had my gun out. I had it, at a low ready, because I kept seeing him like wanting to pull off on the road. I was like, man, he's gonna stop. He's gonna get on. He's gonna start shooting at me. So in my mind, the one thing that comes to my mind is like, I just had my daughter. I've only had her for about a year in my life. I'm gonna go home to her tonight. And I never would want to have to take a life.
Yeah.
But if it was in a situation where they're firing upon me, I have to, I'm in fear for my life. I want to go home.
Mm-hmm.
At the end of the day, that's what it is about. You want to go home. So anyways, I had it ready in case, I had it already planned out. Well, not planned out, but I had a vision, because we do these trainings. This is what happens. This is how you react. So I was ready, and he never did. So we get near Denver City, so I back off. Once I started seeing the shooting, I gave myself a good distance, you know, and he ends up getting into Denver City. His tires are spiked. He keeps going, and we get into residential. I looked around this residential. I was like, man, this is the last thing I want is for him to shoot an innocent bystander.
Oh yeah.
So I'm like right behind him, and next thing I know, I see there's quite a few people outside for the time of day it was. I was surprised, and a lot of cars, and I hear 8 shots go off, pop, like one after another. So I'm like, man, this guy's being careless. I just hit the brakes, gave him distance because I didn't want someone else getting shot, and we ended up losing him. And my girlfriend, she was like, man, you should read the comments that everybody's saying about the situation. And I got some. It's a 2-sided story. The officers, they were like, man, Joey, you reacted good. They were like, why didn't you shoot? That was the first question. I said, I don't know who's in that car with him. I don't know if there's a kid. If I shoot and I kill that kid, I'm at fault for that. Every bullet that leaves that gun, I'm at fault for. If I hit an innocent bystander, I'm at fault.
Yeah.
If I cannot see who I'm shooting at, and I don't know, because you're going to be aiming blank. You don't know where they're at. I'm not going to shoot. I'm not going to take that chance. I'm not going to risk taking someone's life that doesn't need to be taken. And like, you thought about that? And I was like, yes, I thought about that. Within a second, I thought about that. They're like, well, that was good thinking. And then I hear that they're talking trash about me later. They're like, man, he should have shot. And I'm like, man, so no, I can go home and sleep at night knowing that I'm comfortable with the decision that I made. In the comments, it's whatever.
Yeah.
They weren't in that situation.
Yeah, and I think that's where people are. They're like, oh, if they say stuff until they're actually put in that situation, and then from there it's like, okay, well, are you gonna do what you said? Are you gonna do, or are you gonna back out? But and it's just, it all comes down to the situation.
Yeah, but like you were saying, there's not a lot of stuff that goes on here. That's what I thought when I moved here. I mean, it's a little town. Turns out that guy stole that car, and one of them was wanted by the U.S. Marshals for several other different charges and other charges out of Hobbs. About 3 weeks later in Hobbs, he's got a bulletproof vest on, has a new gun, and he was about to do a home invasion. So there's a lot of stuff that happens here.
Yeah.
So I felt, it was a risky situation, but at least I was on to knowing that, hey, I almost got this guy that's a bad guy off the streets, But yeah, a lot of officers just are like, you gotta be rough. When in reality, those officers shouldn't be officers. Because that 19-year-old or 18-year-old veteran that had his knee on they called him Big Floyd.
Yeah.
His neck, shouldn't have been a cop.
Yeah, and it's stuff like that, man, that makes every other cop just look bad. Yeah. And it puts a bad name, just to a police officer, and not all, and just, like not all of them are bad. And that's what sucks, man. Is that one bad cop ruins everything, in which there are many, but
there are many. Yeah, there are, and I wish that they were not, but I guess it's like evil and good. There's more good than evil. Yeah. But what is going to be portrayed more? The evil. The media is there for entertainment, so they're going to speculate. Nobody wants to hear about good stuff. Yeah. They want to hear about the bad stuff, So that's what gets portrayed more. And unfortunately, as a law enforcement community, we end up getting the burden for all the cops that are out there, trying to do their job right.
Yeah.
Trying to do their job with dignity, fairness, and the right way.
Yeah.
You know.
But I feel like you doing what you're doing, you keep respecting, you keep just being you, being you as an officer. I feel like that right there may start a small change, but grow, grow in time, and people will see that. So, no, you keep it up, bro.
Yeah. Well, thank you. I had a guy that he came and he just wanted to give everybody tickets. I was like, look, man, you don't know what kind of day these guys are going through. You don't have to give every person you stop a ticket, man. Sometimes they'll feel, wow, you gave me a warning, and you'll see the change on them. Some people don't, but who cares? At least you made someone else's day better.
Yeah.
And I go back to it over and over. I treat people the way I would want to be treated. I treat them with fairness and equality. Just because I'm a cop, I'm not above the law, not whatsoever. So I tell people, I told that cop, I was like, hey man, if you're gonna stop someone for some type of violation that you do as you're driving while on duty, don't stop them. And I sure hope I don't see you doing that same violation and then stopping them for the same violation, man, because you're gonna hear it from me. And man, in one ear and one out the other.
Yeah.
So I'm like, man. He left. I was like, yeah, I'm glad we got rid of that problem. But yeah, I just try and be fair with everybody. If I'm gonna stop you, then guess what? I'm not gonna be on job doing that same mistake. If I'm doing that mistake, I'm not gonna stop you, man, because I'm gonna be fair with you.
Yeah.
So if I stop you, it's because, well, I wouldn't be doing that, and that's just how I've always felt.
Yeah. Heck yeah.
We're not above the law. I've had a lot of people, when I take them to jail, they're upset. They're like, man, how come y'all cops never stop at stop signs? I'm like, man, that's not me, dude. I stop at stop signs. I put my signal. You're not going to see me doing that. And if I do that, I'm not going to stop you for it, bud. Okay? And he was like, oh, all right.
Yeah.
And, it's back to how I told you, if I can change one person's life. There was this instance where I arrested this guy on a drug offense, and I guess he couldn't bond out, so he became a trustee there in the jail. And I went to get a car wash, and I said, hey man, how you doing? And he said, how you doing, Mr. Holguin? And I was like, oh, I'm good, man. How you holding up good? He's like, yeah, I'm holding up good. I wanted to tell you thank you. I was like, for what? I thought he was joking, because man, every time I've had to deal with him, he's just running his mouth. And he's like, I want to say thank you. I always ran my mouth around you. You kept your composure. You were very respectful. And, if you hadn't arrested me that day, I probably would have been in a bigger hole than I am right now. I was pretty bad on that drugs, and you helped me clean up. I was like, man, really? I was like, are you being for real? He's like, yeah, I mean it. I was like, wow. Well, I hope you stay that way, man. I really do. Because I don't put you in here to, put people in jail. I had my freedom taken away at one point in my life. I know how that feels. I want you to be able to take this as a learning experience and grow from it.
Yeah.
Because, not everybody's like me. And, but if you're in that cell with nothing to do, you got nothing to do but think.
Mm-hmm.
So, reevaluate your situation. I've had a few people tell me that. And I tell, my fellow colleagues, and they're like, he's going to be right back at it. I was like, man, if he is, he is. But you got to be there to support them. You got to tell them, you know what, man, I hope you do. Yeah. And if you ever need anything, I'm here for you. Regardless if I'm a cop.
Yeah.
I'm always here for you, man. Just come talk to me. Don't hesitate. And they're like, all right, I will. So, I don't know.
No, you asked me at the very beginning why I asked you to be on this podcast.
Mm-hmm.
And I pretty much told you, but one of the big reasons is just like what you said. It can change somebody's life.
Uh-huh.
I do this podcast because I believe that everybody's testimony, everybody's story, man, can change. I know for a fact one person. It can. I don't really know how many people listen to this podcast, but I know it'll change somebody.
Yeah.
And so that's the big reason why I ask you. That's why I ask anybody is just, man, your story can change. Whether you think it or not, it'll change somebody's life, man, in an instant. I guarantee it.
Yeah. Well, I remember, when you first asked me, that's what I was thinking. I was like, man, I remember telling you, I was like, man, I don't know if I have a testimony.
Oh, yeah.
Because, I'm not as in touch with, with I guess church stuff. But, I have a faith. I believe. But I was like, I just thought that's what y'all talked about. And I was like, man. So I started, looking at your podcast and, I was like, well, we'll give it a shot. We'll see what.
Yeah, everybody's different, man. Every story that I've had, every testimony on here, dude, is different. Yeah. And I love it, man. I love hearing y'all's testimonies, man. Yeah. Let's talk about your business, your side business.
My side business. Yeah. Well, that was a dream, man. It was always a dream to have when I was even in Alpine to, I guess, open up a supplement store. Because, man, I'm from small towns and it's hard,
Yeah.
You got to go online or you got to drive out of town to get what you need. And I don't have a lot of time on my hands, I got work, I got my family, and I got working out, man. It's a tight budget, tight schedule. So I was like, oh, man, we gotta, I talked to some friends like, man, we should open up a store here in Alpine. And they're like, all right. You just always talk. Mm-hmm. And my girlfriend, she was going to school for business. And, at the time, we kept dating. And when she graduated, I was like, hey, what are you going to do? She's like, I don't know, maybe be a manager. And I was like, why? It's like, you went to school for business, be your own boss. She's like, well, what do you think I should do? I was like, well, I'm going to pitch you an idea. And I don't know if you tell me if you like it or not. And she was, I told her, I was like, let's sell supplements. I'm tired of having to order online, wait forever how long it takes, 1 week, 2 weeks. If you find a good place, you might get it in 3 weeks, but sometimes you don't know.
Yeah.
And I was like, man, if we can just get some supplements, sell them for the same price as online. I mean, we may not make a killing, but at least we're helping out people get stuff, on the same day. They don't have to worry about driving out of town. So we were talking about that, and we started looking into it. And right about that time, Caleb called, I think we texted and told her about it. So we came over here. And I guess, well, yeah, she was pregnant with our daughter right now at that time. And she ended up filing for all the LLC and the EIN. So we got our name, I guess, registered so nobody else could do it. Cause, I don't know. I think a lot. Just laying in bed, my mind's always thinking. So I just came up with Elite Aesthetic Supplements. She's like, I like that name. I was like, I like it too. So we were like, well, let's go get it put in paper before someone else takes it. So I was like, all right, let's do it. Yeah. So we did it, and a lot of it came from our own money that we had been saving up. So we got that, and then we hit a roadblock where, like, man, we need some more money to, get supplements. So we ended up drafting a business plan. It took a really long time. That was really hard. And we presented it to an organization that helps out minorities and mainly females. If she wasn't applying for it, I wouldn't have got it. That's what they told me. Literally, they're like, well, you're lucky you got Macenta applying because you probably wouldn't get it. But either way, I mean, throughout that time, I had to change some things on my credit. So I built my credit up. So I'm like, no, I got a pretty good credit. So I was like, works out.
Yeah.
But we got it, and we moved here to Seminole, and they're in Alpine. They have a gym, but not that many people went. She came over here, and I was just like, man, there's a lot of people here. And she's like, there is a lot of people here. I was like, we could help out a lot of people. She's like, yeah, we could. And she started like feeling it more, or feeling the idea, and we finally were able to get our loan, and we got stuff in, and I guess I'm the supplement guru, if you could say, where, I've been taking them for a long time, so, I've tried out different brands, and I'm like, man, this brand it's no good. They just want your money. To where, this brand, they're putting in what they're saying they're putting in the proper amount, this stuff is gonna work.
Yeah.
So I try to just get brands and products that are about what they say they're about. That way, if you purchase from me, you're gonna get some quality stuff.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
I mean, I don't know how much stuff I've gone through where I've wasted tons of money on that I'm like, that didn't do a thing. I didn't feel anything. It didn't do anything. Waste of money.
Yeah.
So I want people to know that when they buy something from me, that they're going to get a quality product, regardless of the decision. I get asked sometimes I get asked, what's your best thing? And I'm like, man, just about everything. I mean,
yeah.
So I tell them, like, man, it doesn't matter what you choose. It's going to be good. But, I try and help out, like, well, what are your goals? What are you looking to do? What do you want out of it? So then I kind of, I got stuff for beginners, intermediates, to the more advanced. A little bit of everything, men, women, anybody of all ages.
Yeah.
Even stuff for joints, like for older people, because heck, my joints are starting to hurt.
Man, no, I feel you, man. That stuff that I bought from you a while back has really helped a lot, man. So yeah,
that's good.
Oh yeah.
That's
no,
good.
But man, I know when I first ordered from you, you're like, man, I can take it to you today, and it's, dude, what? It's like, yeah. You want it today? I'll take it to you today. It was like, oh, heck yeah, So to me, man, I think that I like that, the order and then get it the same day.
Yeah.
Like that, and then there's nobody else here that's selling any supplements that I know of, you know, and I think that helps out a whole lot.
Well, I mean, the main reason why I gravitate to that idea is it's kind of what's coming up now. It's growing. You got HEB Go. Where you go put your order online, you pull up, and they bring it right to your car. That's awesome. Because especially right now, throughout this whole pandemic or whatever you want to call it, people are not wanting to go outside of the house. So but you need to eat. So I'm sure that HEB Go was making a big buzz for them. But yeah, since we didn't have a storefront, I was like, what can we offer? How can we, I know it's an inconvenience because you want to come in and you want to look at everything, but, we don't have a store, and, it's hard to trust every single person. You come into your house, you never know. What I'm saying? There's people out there that you don't know their intentions, and, me working a lot, and she's home alone with the little girl, I'm like, let's just deliver it to them,
Yeah.
So that's what I, like I told you, I'll bring it to you the moment you ask for it. Either me or she will. We're out and if you don't feel comfortable with me coming, because like you said, a lot of people don't know us, and that's been a drawback. They don't know us. They see this, they're like, oh, you operate out of home, kind of sketchy, right? So it kind of pushes them away. But I've had people who are like, oh, it's y'all guys? Oh, okay. And then they start buying, and I'm like,
yeah.
I mean, I can only understand. I would be too, but I don't know. I'm less picky when it comes to supplements. I'm like, if it's here, cool, man. Let's get some, man.
Oh yeah.
But yeah. So if, like I was saying, if you don't feel comfortable for us coming to your home, we say, hey, do you want to meet somewhere out in the open public? And they're like, yeah, sure. So we'll pick Walmart, Stripes, the library parking lot, anywhere, wherever they feel better.
Yeah.
We want you to feel comfortable just like you would going into the store. We don't want you to feel at ease because we're just here to help you.
Yeah.
So that was one thing that, I wanted to I guess, really, hit was deliveries. Same day that you ask for it, it's the same day you're going to get it,
Heck yeah.
And I've came to your house at 10 at night. If that's
what
you're fine with, I'll come at 10 at night. It doesn't bother me.
Yeah. I know, and that was great. That was like, yeah, man, I'll go right now. I was like, are you sure? Yeah, I'll go right now. And, okay.
Yeah, because
I'm here.
Because I've had situations where I go, all right, it's like midday. I get some pre-workout. I look, man, that's my last scoop. I didn't realize it because we have busy lives. You look at it, you're like, man, I'm getting low. I should place an order, but then you forget, and the next thing you know, you're empty, and you're like, man, now I gotta wait a week and work out without nothing, and it's gonna feel like bleh. I don't know. That's just the way I feel.
Yeah.
So I was like, man, because you could, the store could be closed. You just realize you ran out. If that's what you want, I'll bring it to you.
Yeah.
I have no hours really. My site may say it has hours, but if you want it, I don't mind. It doesn't bother me. I'll get it right to you.
Oh yeah. Yes, sir.
So,
your website. How what is the website to look at your product? I know you got social media for sure on.
Yeah, we got Facebook and Instagram, just Elite Aesthetic Supplements. But right now, since I use Square, they give us a free website, right? So I was kind of wanting to see how the website would do before I purchased the domain. So I guess the domain you have to pay for every month. I was like, man, if it's not being used, there's some money being wasted.
Yeah.
And the reason kind of goes back to why we're doing it at home is, a lot of this money that's being invested in, it's coming from my source of income. So I'm like, money's tight. And I'm not doing it for the money. Every bit of money that we get, every profit that we get, we put into trying to get more stuff. I'm not getting no profit out of it, which is fine with me. It doesn't bother me. But, we're doing it at home for the little overhead. If this goes big, then, we can ask for a loan to purchase some land and get a store. And even with the store, I'm still offer delivery because, it's a convenience to you.
Yeah.
Free delivery, But, what were we talking about? I lost track.
Oh, the website.
Oh, the website. Yeah, the website. So anyways, it's a super long thing. It's like Elite Aesthetic Supplements .square.retail. Man, it's so long.
But the link is on your profile on Instagram.
The link is on our profile on Instagram. So, you just click that link. But I do want it, I was thinking about it, and I'm just going to go ahead and purchase a domain name. So, hopefully, if it's available, it's just going to be like easubs.com.
Oh,
something short and simple.
Yeah. Where
you can just type in your browser and it'll pull up. Not that type it in and you're like, you miss one letter and it says website not found.
Yeah.
You're like, here we go again.
Yep. Yeah.
But yeah.
No, heck. And how's that going? Have you been, since you started until now, have you gotten a whole lot more people?
It was going good. I tell you what, February was rough, which was when we first started. Not too many people. We got a lot of feedback on social media, but as it goes back to that, they don't know us. They feel weird. Whatever, it's fine. I understand. But once you get to know us, we're great people, right? So February was kind of slow. March, man, it picked up. It was just like order after order. I was like, man, wow, this is going good. And then the whole, gym's closing.
Oh yeah.
And then it was just like nothing. So it's starting to pick up again.
Yeah.
Slowly. I would love to hit March sales, but it's almost there. But I don't know. That was a heck of a month, so I'm like, that's kind of hard to top. But yeah, so I don't know. It is just sometimes I'll get like, man, no one buy anything today, and I'm sending her. She'd be like, man, I know. I'm like, you know what? We just gotta take it day by day.
Yeah.
Some days you get sales, some days you don't.
Yeah.
You just can't focus on it, and it's just like an aspect. I guess it goes back to the whole principle. Like when I was in middle school with athletics, I wanted to get out, but I was like, you just gotta take it day by day. The more you do it, the easier it gets over time. But yeah.
No, I pray that that your business, man, booms for sure, man. That it's blessed, bro.
Yeah.
I pray that that everything goes your way. This whole business thing, man, is just blossoms, I guess.
Well, I have a lot of ideas for it. Like if it goes great, I want to be able to, build a big enough site to where in the front we have our store and in the back we have a 24-hour gym, a limited capacity, nothing too big or crazy, but, it's one of the biggest and the hardest drawbacks here is trying to get to the gym on time, you know.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I got used to being at a 24-hour gym to where, you know, I didn't have to accommodate to someone's schedule.
Yeah.
But, you know, I came here and it's just about adjustment.
Mm-hmm.
You know, don't complain about it. Just
Adjust
you know,
to
adjust
it.
to it. There's no point in complaining. You get nothing out of it but wasted energy when you could be putting that to something better.
Yeah.
You know, so, but yeah, we would like to be able to have like a gym. And it's always been a dream of mine to own a restaurant. Don't know why.
A restaurant, huh?
Yeah.
What kind of restaurant?
It would be a healthy eating place, you know. My father, besides fishing, he was a cook. He taught me how to cook, and
nice.
I love cooking. As a matter of fact, that's how I guess Macinda fell in love with me. Was for my cooking. Yeah. Yeah, I made her a homemade chicken Alfredo from scratch.
Oh,
and,
nice.
Yeah.
Heck yeah.
That sealed the deal. So, but yeah, anyways, you know, so a lot of people think that dieting has to be bland, boring, tasteless, you know, like, I gotta eat this again. When in reality, there's certain ways you can season it up, you know, get a certain sauce that's low in calories, and man, it tastes good. I just found one the other day, a sugar-free barbecue sauce. It's called G Hughes. It's by G Hughes. It's I guess he's a cook somewhere. I don't know, but man, wow, it was amazing. I was like, holy moly, this is good. And but yeah, so you know, I would like to have, you know, the store and a gym in the back and to the side maybe, or you know, just like you want a meal, come get a meal, or you know, you just got done working out, you don't got time to go home and cook something, you know, tell me what you want and I got it, you know, we got it for you.
Nice. Heck yeah.
I mean, that would be the big final picture, you know.
Yeah.
So I can only take it day by day, though.
Hey, it can happen. It can happen. You know, if people wanted to get a hold of you, let's say on Instagram, social media, what would they look under? I know you do have a Facebook and you do have an Instagram, like you yourself personally.
Oh, me?
Like if say somebody had questions, or or would
like
you
just my personal?
Or would you prefer them go to your?
Well, I'm gonna say it's a funny name, but I made this a while back. It's I don't even know what my Instagram name. I think it's like it's Joey _Jen or something like that.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember what it is too, but
it's funny. It used to be the Buff Jen, but that was a long time ago.
You know, yeah, just you know, if somebody has questions about anything.
If they had a question, they could just message us through Facebook. Oh, there, it's all blowing up now. Facebook or Instagram through a direct message, or I mean, if they have me on Instagram, they could just message me there. Yeah, it's Joey _Gent for Instagram. That's my name. And Facebook is just I believe it's Joey Holguin.
Yeah, and I know that's one thing we didn't do. I didn't get to introduce him. We just pretty much just started it. But Joey, you know, I'm Joey Holguin. You know, honestly, this is probably the first time I had to ask him earlier, like, what's your last name, man? I don't even know your last name, but I did. I met him at a gym, and dude, it went on from there. You know, he started telling me about his supplements. I got them, and I love it. You know, if you do go to the gym and you do buy stuff online, man, I highly recommend buying from these guys. They're awesome. They, like I said, they do it same day delivery. You get on there, you order it, and they'll deliver it to you. And every product, I haven't tasted every product, but the products I have, love it. Love it, man. Yeah, they're amazing. I love it. I've even had some people ask me, like, well, who are these guys? Just like you were saying. I'm like, oh, you know, he's an officer here. You know, they're good people. So
yeah.
But no, so if you're watching this, hey, go check it out. Go give him a follow. Go on Instagram.
Don't hesitate. We are human just like everybody else, just wanting to help out.
Yeah.
So don't hesitate.
Yes, sir.
I mean, that's all I really can say about that. But you know, I did mention that I got arrested a while back. I didn't say this. That was a case that was dismissed and expunged. For those that are curious, because I'm sure people are gonna be like, "Man, he's a cop. How did he get arrested?"
Yeah.
You know, if he was arrested. for the curious people, just I got it legally taken care of. So yeah, that part is all good to go.
Oh, heck yeah, man. Heck yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, well, I appreciate you joining me, man. I know we've talked about it for a long time that, hey, you need to join the podcast, and then it kind of just, it didn't really kind of fall into place until now.
It happens. I mean,
yeah.
I was like, whenever it happens, it'll happen.
Oh, yeah. And man,
I feel like it was a good time, though.
Dude, yeah. Yeah. Man, I loved having you on here, man. I loved hearing where you came from. Your whole background. Like I said, I know nothing about you until now.
Yeah, well, that's what it's like. I tell Masenda, I'm like, people see me, and I don't know if I look intimidating or not, but I guess some people don't feel like they can approach me. And I don't mean to put off that I guess
that
vibe, but. Sometimes if I'm in the gym, I'm just in the zone.
Oh yeah,
I'm working out. But if you want to say hi or ask me something, I'm always more than willing to take my headphones off and talk. There was a guy there that I met. His name is Felix, and you could tell he's not from Seminole. Just you can tell. I don't really know how to explain it, but I was like, hey man, as I told him, I was like, hey, I'm Joey. I sell supplements. If you're ever interested, check me out on Facebook or Instagram. And he was like, what? You sell supplements? I was like, yeah. I was like, hey, where you from, by the way? And he told me, and then we ended up talking, and it turned out that he writes music and has it on Spotify. And I was like, wow, that's pretty cool. So I asked him why he, did that. And, he was telling me that, I guess at an early age he got stuck on or caught up with heroin and methamphetamines, and I guess he was almost overdosed a few times, and he changed his life and he uses his music to try and help people that are in the same situation. So I was like, all right, I'll check it out. I listened to it and I was like, man, that's pretty good stuff. So I went back and I told him, I was like, hey man, that's pretty good stuff. I like your music. And he was like, he started wanting to cry. He was blown away. I was like, man, I'm just an ordinary person. I was like, but you got good music. And that's one thing he told me. He's like, man, I've seen you around in the gym, and I've noticed how much time you're willing to give people. Like, I don't know, there's always this guy that goes to the gym that he'll talk your ear off, and he said, that guy, he just talks your ear off, but you won't rude to him. So, man, everybody they just want to talk.
Oh, yeah.
They just want to be listened to. Just, let them talk. Engage.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with it. He's like, man. He said, and you're a cop? I was like, yeah. So, wow, I've never met a cop like you. I was like, dude, I mean, we're out there. It's just, the media portrays the bad ones, which they need to get out. Yeah, so, I mean, if there's a bad cop out there listening to this, they need to reevaluate their career and, get out if their intentions are not to help, but to do bad.
Oh, yeah.
So,
dude.
I mean, oh, no, that's not it. It was just about the big Floyd stuff. I had something that I saw, another officer, I don't know from where, had posted on his Instagram, and just wanted to read it, and it was something that touched me.
Oh, you
that's
go
the
ahead,
way
man.
I felt.
Yeah.
That's fine?
No, yeah, go ahead, bro. Go ahead and read it. Yes, sir.
He goes, I am a police officer. I take the utmost pride in my job. If I can teach you versus taking you to jail, I will. If I can help you pay for something versus stealing it, I will. I will not tolerate the destruction of a reputation that us good cops spent years to build. The despicable incident that occurred in Minneapolis does not define the brave men and women that do this job with dignity. Whether you want to believe it or not, a majority of police officers believe in justice. We are not disagreeing with you, and I know justice will be served. We are disagreeing with being lumped into a situation that we condemn as much as you do. And it says, I'd be damned if we didn't walk this course with you in unison. Love, compassion, and a firm belief in unity is what is required to push us all forward. And I saw that yesterday, and for a good long time, I felt that, I work for small departments. I've always felt that I didn't fit in because I was not, I guess, as mean as I should be. But I always, felt that way. It's, we're here to serve. We're here to protect. People have to trust us. And if you feel that you cannot trust us, let me teach you that we can. So it kind of touched me in a way to know that there is good cops out there. And we need more of those. And it came after that moment, because like you mentioned earlier, with that one or those 4 officers, kind of paints a bad picture for the rest of us.
Yeah.
And I mean, his actions itself, they upset me, beyond, it just upsets me, man. I can't even explain it. Upsets me to watch it, to see his demeanor of carelessness. I mean, you can see the look in his face. He doesn't care what's going on. And I mean, that's upsetting to me. But, and in the same respect, with the riots that are going on, I don't feel that's the right course either. Now, I'm not sure if you've seen, all the stuff they're doing at Target.
Oh, dude, yeah, I saw that.
I was kind of curious how Target had to do anything with this. I was like, why are they tearing up Target? I mean, what at Target was, I don't know if he was Big Floyd at Target. Or,
no, I have no idea. Yeah, no, I haven't really looked. I haven't looked more into it. What does Target have to do with
this? No. But I believe that they should protest, and in a peaceful manner. Everybody should come together as a community to support one another. Not tear it down, because that's not helping you out. That's not helping your community out. If you want justice, you have to be able to be stronger than the situation and not let it control your emotions, to show
that's good.
That we're here as unity. So,
dude, the more you talk, you said you wanted to be more like your girlfriend. I can see that right now. Like, I see no hate in you. And that's the way it needs to be. It needs to be like, I see nothing but love in you. Somebody who is patient, who wants to love, who wants to help, who wants to serve, who wants to protect their community. I see that all in you, bro.
Well, thank you.
Yeah.
I mean, we should not have to judge people based on, their race, their wealthiness, the color of the skin, where they grew up from. We're all the same person. It's in Alpine, I guess, there was quite a bit of racism, not just towards the black community, but to the Hispanics as well. And it was it's a feeling that's not cool. You don't like going into somewhere where you feel like an outcast. You got everybody watching on you, or eyes on you, just because you're brown or you're not white. It shouldn't be that way. We are all God's children. We're here for one purpose.
Yes, sir.
We gotta come together as a community, as a whole, as a world. Just everything. But only time.
Oh yeah.
Only time.
We'll get there. Yes, sir. Yeah, man, dude, I've enjoyed you being on here, man. It's been amazing, man. It's been really good, sir. Bro.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad I could come on.
Yeah. If you see him out, people, like, man, go shake his hand. Get to know who he is. I'm telling you, man, he is an amazing person. Like I said, I see everything that I just said I meant. I see that he has no hate, just nothing but love for people. And he does. He gives people time. I'll see him in the gym talking to people, and just from him going out of his way to talk to me, it's you can definitely tell that he is a people person. Not out there to please anybody, but just out there to just say, hey, I'm here to talk. Like, I'm here just to respect and honor, love it, man.
Be here for, if you need help, I'm here for that too.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Don't matter what kind of dilemma you're in, I'm here for it,
Yes, sir.
So,
well, he gave you his social media stuff. Go, man, give him a holler, give him a follow. You know, also give the company his supplements. Go check them out. Go give them a follow on Facebook and Instagram, and go check out their website. You can go give me a follow on No Holds. I am on Facebook. I am on Instagram at No Holds Podcast, and then also subscribe to my YouTube channel, man. Let these stories get out there. You know, these stories, I guarantee you, help somebody out. And that's all it is. It's just about the one, just going out and helping the one. So, man, share, like, follow, subscribe. You know, do what you can. Tell people about it. You know, I want everybody's story, everybody's testimony to get out. You know, it's not about me at all. It's about, you know, getting them out there. And man, I appreciate you again, bro.
Not a problem.
I really do. And
you know, I appreciate I appreciate the opportunity, you know, that you saw whatever you saw in me, and wanting to, you know, I guess, share the word.
Yeah, bro. Yeah. I mean, like I said, dude, I know there's more to you. I know there was, man.
Man, I got yeah, there is a lot more to me. It's just I don't know. Everybody's unique in their own way.
Oh yeah.
But just my mind thought on everything, it just I don't know, I feel alienated at times. But, you know, I think that'll change someday.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, no, we have to have you on here again, bro.
So, well, whenever, just let me know.
Oh, yeah, we're going to have to have you on here. Yes, sir. Well,
yeah.
That is all that we have for today. And until next time, we are out. Peace.
Later.